Hello everybody, welcome back. Thank you guys for joining for the last segment. I'm really excited to go over this because I love talking about CrossFit. So we just got done talking about the Rabat/Marrakech Diamond League meet. We're now going to be talking about a recap of the CrossFit Games Semifinals Week 1, Asia and Europe Semifinals, of course, because that is the only ones that have taken place so far and the results are finalized for that. So we're just going to get straight into it. The 2023 Fittest Woman on Earth, Laura Horvath, proved she's still at the top of her game against a stacked field at the 2024 CrossFit Games Europe Semifinal and in France. Wow, I just stuttered completely. I'm so sorry. Horvath dominated day 3 on her way to victory, finishing the day's events first, second, and second. She beat her last year's Europe semifinal champion, Poland's Gabi Migala. Third place belonged to Sweden's Emma Tall. Laura Horvath started the day 3 points ahead of Migala, and the neck-and-neck battle continued during event 4. After that, it was pretty much all Horvath. She won the final heat of event 5, an event with increasingly heavy snatches, while Migala had a costly no rep on the final 175-pound barbell and finished 4th. Fuliana was the only woman who wasn't in the top 10 heading into the day, but she managed to climb into it to earn a games invite. She finished day 2 and 13th, but thanks to her event 5 win and 2 more top 10 finishes, she climbed to 8th overall. On the other side of things was the UK's Jennifer Mirror. She started the day in 9th, but struggled on Sunday, finishing the final 3 events in 27th, 20th, and 18th. This unfortunately dropped her into 12th overall and outside the games qualification by 2 spots. Claudia, Gluck, and Linda Keesman were 2 other athletes fighting on the bubble all weekend. The 2 would-be game rookies starting the day in 8th and 10th respectively, and both were extremely impressive on Sunday. Keesman didn't finish below 7th in the last 3 events, while Gluck placed 12th, 8th, and 6th. This helped Gluck move into 6th overall and Keesman 7th. Both women officially earned their first trip to the games. Rounding out the rest of the top 10 in Europe were Karin Freyova in 4th, Amy Kringle in 5th, and Jacqueline Dahlstrom, who hung on in 10th. Kringle will join Gluck and Keesman as first-year Games competitors from Europe, and Dahlstrom will return to the Games for the 3rd time after failing to qualify last season. In an interview after Event 5, Norway Dahlstrom said failing to qualify last year actually helped her feel less pressure this year. Dahlstrom said, quote, "I think the main thing was that it made me realize that there was so much more to life than just CrossFit, so in some ways it takes the edge off. It's finding a balance where you're still fighting on the floor like it is everything in your life, but then still knowing that if it doesn't play out, I'm going to be okay, my people still love me." So let's just go to the people who are making it to the next round, who've qualified in the next round. In the Europe semifinals, 10 people make it out, the top 10 competitors, and then the Asia semifinals, the top 3 competitors make it out, and that is different from the men's. The men's Asia semifinals, only 2 men competitors make it out, but in the females, it is 3. I know that can get super confusing because, I mean, when I first saw that there's only 2 men competitors that make it out in the Asia semifinals, I was very confused why there was 3 people in the female competition in Asia semifinals making out. So it's different for both. There's I don't even know how to really explain it, but it's like a ratio thing kind of like how many competitors they need and stuff that can qualify. But anyway, we're just gonna get started into this. So in first place was Laura Horvath, like I just talked about. But here are her specific stats. In the first event, she finished 7th with a time of 22 minutes and 9.93 seconds. And the second event, she finished 1st with a time of 11 minutes and 24.19 seconds. For the third event, she placed 3rd with a time of 11 minutes and 22.12 seconds. For the 4th event, Horvath finished in 2nd with a time of 5 minutes and 6.04 seconds. And lastly, in the 6th event, she finished 2nd with a time of 3 minutes and 4.38 seconds. I already pretty much talked about Gabriela Migala, and she placed 2nd overall. In event 1, she finished 1st with a time of 21 minutes and 11 seconds. For the second event, she finished 2nd with a time of 11 minutes and 31.51 seconds. And the third event, she finished 7th with a time of 11 minutes and 51.62 seconds. In event 4, she finished 2nd with a time of 8 minutes and 35.29 seconds. For the fifth event, she placed fourth with a time of 5 minutes and 27.31 seconds. Lastly, in the sixth event, she finished 10th with a time of 3 minutes and 41.78 seconds. And third was Emma Tall, like I mentioned previously. She placed third in the first event with a time of 21 minutes and 32.50 seconds. And the second event, she finished eighth with a time of 12 minutes and 36.8 seconds. Her third and sixth events is where she really stepped up and helped her place third. She finished first in the third event with a time of 10 minutes and 42.57 seconds. And in the sixth event, she placed first with a time of 2 minutes and 48.08 seconds. For the fifth event, though, she placed 11th with a time of 6 minutes and 48.63 seconds. So just to say, the reason that I went through all the times of the first, second, and third place competitors is because I wanted to highlight how close the competition gets. It always feels like the top three in CrossFit are always so close in time, like they're just finishing one after another. And I mean, that's pretty much how it felt during this competition especially. Now moving on to fourth place, Karen Freyova placed fourth. In event 1, she finished 10th. In event 2, she finished 13th. In event 3, she finished 2nd. In event 4, she finished 5th. In event 5th, she finished 5th. And in event 6, she finished in 3rd place. Her event 3 and 6 performance was really how she made her way to 4th place. Her finishes were very good overall, but if she did a bit better in event 1 and 2, she definitely would have had more of a chance to finish in the top 3. Next in 5th place was Amy Kringle. In the first event, she finished 2nd. In event 2, she finished 4th. In event 3, she finished 5th. In event 4, she finished 6th. In event 5, she finished 13th. And in event 6, she finished 11th. Her event 1 was really significant for her, and it helped her a lot in her final score and placing. In 6th place was Claudia Gluck. She finished 23rd in the first event, 3rd in the second event, 6th in the third event, 12th in the fourth event, 8th in the fifth event, and 5th in the sixth event. The first event is where her score got dragged down the most, as you can see, being a 23rd compared to her other places. And then we have 7th place was Linda Keesman. She finished 16th in the event 1, 12th in the event 2, 10th in event 3, 7th in event 4, and 5th event, and 6th in the 6th event. Events 4, 5, and 6 went really well for her, which is what helped her score tremendously. In 8th place was Eliza Fuliano. She placed 20th in the first event, 5th in the second event, 17th in the third event, 1st in the fourth event, and 7th in the sixth event. Her first place in the 5th event is truly remarkable because you would expect the top 5 to get a first place in one of the events, but like she really just sneaked through the cracks of that one, obviously, which really helped her secure an 8th place win for her. And 9th place was Emma McCall. She placed 13th in the first event, 7th in the second event, 8th in the third event, 21st in the fourth event, 14th in the fifth event, and 8th in the sixth event. And then lastly, in 10th place was Jacqueline Dahlstrom. She placed 6th in the first event, 9th in the second event, 12th in the third event, 22nd in the fourth event, 10th in the fifth event, and 15th in the sixth event. Everyone in the Europe semifinals did very well overall, and I mean, I am very impressed with the top 10 finishers for sure. I mean, I'm impressed with everyone, but especially the top 10 finishers. So now let's go over the Asia semifinals. First was Seher Kaya. She finished first in a lot of the events. She finished first in event 1, 3, 4, and 6. So she really secured that first place victory. In event 2, she placed 5th. In event 5, she placed 4th. Her time for event 1 was 23 minutes and 13 seconds. Her time for event 2 was 14 minutes and 21 seconds. Event 3 was 12 minutes and 18.9 seconds. Event 4 was 9 minutes and 8 seconds. Event 5 was 8 minutes and 9.9 seconds. And event 6 was 3 minutes and 42.17 seconds. And then in second place in the Asia semifinals was Seungyeon Choi. She placed 3rd in the first event with a time of 23 minutes and 57 seconds. In the second event, she finished first with a time of 11 minutes and 45 seconds. In the third event, she finished second with a time of 12 minutes and 39 seconds. She placed second in event 4 as well with a time of 9 minutes and 26 seconds. In the fifth event, she finished first with a time of 6 minutes and 2 seconds. And lastly, in event 6, she placed 8th with a time of 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Lastly, in third place was Dawon Jung. She finished fourth in event 1 with a time of 24 minutes and 41.8 seconds. In the second event, she finished second with a time of 12 minutes and 59 seconds. In the third event, she finished 17th with a time of 15 minutes and 41 seconds. She finished fourth in the fourth event with a time of 9 minutes and 50 seconds. In the fifth event, she finished third with a time of 8 minutes and 6 seconds. And lastly, in the sixth event, she finished fourth with a time of 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Obviously, just looking at this, her 17th spot in event 3 was really where she got her down. She would have been more fierce competition for second and first place. Maybe not first place because, you know, first place competitor Kaya got like first in almost every event, but definitely more fierce competition for second place if she had a better score in event 3. There were also 9 teams that qualified for the next round in CrossFit Games, and we're going to talk about that in our next show, so make sure you join us at that show. It will be very interesting. That concludes our show for today. Thank you guys for tuning into the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again and have a wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't that great. I don't wanna go to